Hi guys, Joe here and welcome to our Euro 2016 Group D preview. Today we're going to be looking at the key matchups, some of the key players and some predictions. I'm joined by Patrick Van Straten. Who are we starting with, Pato?
We have to start with Spain. Despite a disappointing campaign at the World Cup in 2014, they are still one of the favourites at this tournament. Now the squad is kind of in transition at the moment. 13 of the 23 players have fewer than 20 caps. And they lost their first qualifier in 8 years when they lost to Slovakia. But they also set a national record with 8 consecutive clean sheets, and they're still a very strong proposition. Joe, who do you see their key man as being?
Well, it's very hard to pick a key player from this fantastic Spanish squad. There's been a lot made of the players they've left out, but I'm going to have to put my hat on Alvaro Morata. He's not had the best season at Juventus. 12 goals, 12 assists in 47 appearances. However, let's not forget he kind of does play second fiddle to Paulo Dybala there, and I think he's going to be crucial in linking that midfield to the attack. He's almost Spain's complete forward. He can drop deep, he can run in behind. So for me, Alvaro Morata, who'll also be looking for a big move this summer, he's going to be the one to watch out for, Pato. But where are they going to finish, mate?
Well, it's hard to see them not finishing top of this group. It's a very tough group, actually, maybe the toughest at the tournament, but the players who they left out could form the basis of a championship winning side. So we see them topping the group and maybe going as far as the semis.
The next team we'll be looking at is Turkey. They've got a really strong squad, although they are in the group of death. But Patrick, what can we expect from them?
Well, they had a really good qualifying campaign. They started off poorly though, with just 1 point from their first 3 games, rallied, ended up beating the Netherlands 3-0. The Netherlands didn't make the tournament and they beat Iceland. Fatih Terim is back for his 3rd spell in charge. In 2008, he took them to the semi-finals of the Euros. So Turkey could be a really interesting shout for tournament dark horses.
Yeah, I agree with you. I watched them against England in an international friendly recently, and they're a very aggressive team, trying to play on the front foot constantly. One man in particular I think is going to be very crucial to their team. Hakan Çalhanoğlu is a fantastic player. You will have seen him on YouTube and of course social media with his fantastic dead ball ability. He always seems to score free kicks. A lot gets made of that, but take nothing away from his on the ball ability too. He's a versatile, creative midfielder. He splits defenders with fantastic passes, and if he can score more goals, he's got 6 in 18 international appearances. If he can get on the score sheet at the Euros, he could carry him far into the tournament, couldn't he, Pato?
Well, we certainly think so. We think they might finish 3rd in this group, but then in the next round they could be playing France or England. That's a tough matchup for them, but on the other hand, you do not want to face the Turks. They could be a really interesting shout to go deep at Euro 2016. Next up, we have the Czech Republic. Joe, tell me a little bit about the team.
Yeah, historically, they're actually pretty good at the Euros. Of course, they reached the final in Euro 96 where they lost 1-0 to the Germans. However, in this qualifying campaign, they were not brilliant. They conceded 14 goals. That's the most of anyone to reach the finals. And even with the great Petr Cech in goal, they didn't keep a single clean sheet. That's not great going into a championship finals.
Well, you've mentioned Cech there, and actually it's another Arsenal man, former Arsenal man now, who I want to highlight as their key player going into the tournament. Thomas Rosicky, he's now 35, but he's still on his day is a class above. This team does not match up with the great Czech sides of the past, with Pavel Nedved and Jan Koller and all those kind of guys. But Rosicky, he has the pace, he has that ability to find the key ball, he has that outside of the boot pass that he loves so much, and he'll be vital to the development of young players like Vladimir Darida, who are not yet ready to carry this team on their backs. So how far do we see them going?
We don't see them doing very well at this tournament, I'm afraid, Czech Republic. In fact, we've got you bottom of the group. It is the group of death though, so don't write yourselves off completely, but just not quite good enough. The final team in Group D is, of course, Croatia. They've got an interesting squad this year. How are they going to do, Pato?
Well, they actually had an interesting time in qualification. They had Italy on the ropes at one point. They could have finished the group top, but they did suffer after their fans cut a swastika into the turf at their national stadium. They then had to play 2 games behind closed doors, which seems like a pretty light punishment, to be honest. Their manager, Niko Kovacs, then left, but under Ante Čačić, they did really, really well, managed to leapfrog Norway on the final day to go through. Their midfield, though, is absolutely unbelievable. Joe, tell me about them.
Yeah, I think that is fair to say. Of course, they've got Modric, Rakitic, and the Real Madrid man who hasn't quite featured as heavily as he'd have liked, Kovacic. What a midfield three that is. You've got dynamism, you've got goals from Rakitic, getting forward. Modric, of course, picked up another Champions League winners medal this season. And overall, this whole squad looks really dangerous. Mandzukic will be leading leading the line for him. He's got experience, hold-up play. He'll be looking to bring Rakitic in midfield into the goal threat areas. And even their defence, they've had to leave the likes of Lovren at home. That's how impressive this Croatian side is. But Pato, where are they going to finish? How are they going to do?
Well, I think that they might actually finish second in this group. That midfield is really hard to look beyond. Then in the round of 16, unfortunately though, they're likely to face Belgium. So you look like you're going to get out of the group, Croatia, but I don't know if it's going to be much further than that.
So that was our Group D preview, but where are the teams going to finish and who should we be on the lookout for? Let us know in the comments below.
And if you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to check out the ones we did for Groups A, B and C. Playing on screen right now is Group C.
Yeah, and as always guys, please do like and subscribe.
Catch you next time.